The city had originally said that along with 47 trolley stations, only 4 bus stops throughout San Diego would qualify to build new high-density housing under SB 79. But SANDAG has now decided that 21 bus stops actually qualify under the new law, which could increase the number of new housing units under this legislation from roughly 367,000 to 467,000 over the coming years.
This is a victory lap, absolutely.
For advocates of high-density housing, Senate Bill 79 helps to address California's housing shortage by overriding local zoning to allow for more mid-rise residential developments near major transit stops, including in communities like University Heights.
So it is now state law in effect right now.
Zach DeFazio-Farrell is with YIMBY Democrats of San Diego, one of the biggest local advocates of SB 79, which he says will help encourage more San Diegans to use public transit by creating more housing nearby.
Maybe not everybody, I understand, but the idea is like if we get more people doing that, that could help with traffic congestion over time. No one likes being stuck in traffic. I know I don't. And then of course to provide more of the housing that we desperately need.
Under SB 79, the closer a property is to a qualifying transit stop, the larger the building is permitted. Within 200 feet of a transit stop, a project could include 140 units per acre and be up to 85 feet tall. Between 200 feet and a quarter mile from a stop, the project could have 100 units per acre and be 65 feet tall. And between a quarter mile and half mile from a transit stop, the project can have 80 units per acre and be up to 55 feet tall. Not all San Diegans are on board with the idea, though, pointing to a lack of infrastructure as a major concern. They argue that by allowing up to 9-story buildings by transit could overwhelm existing systems.
San Diegans deserve infrastructure that works. They deserve streets they can drive safely, water systems that don't fail, electric grids that don't become overloaded.
Other critics say that SB 79 cedes too much power to Sacramento. But DeFazio-Farrell says that the law allows local governments to decide how to implement it, pointing out that the city of San Diego is opting to delay implementation in some areas. For example, in communities that are deemed high wildfire risk.
A lot of areas of the city that are currently delayed, right? You're not going to see full implementation until about 2031.
In fact, San Diego is delaying implementation of SB 79 in about 3/4 of areas that have qualifying transit stops, opting for a phased-in rollout over the next 6 years or so. But in other areas, including North Park, University Heights, Claremont, and the UTC area, this law is now immediately in effect.
One thing that kind of jumped out from that package, you said it jumped from 4 bus stops that qualified for this program to 21.
To 21. In fact,
that's a big difference.
And in fact, YIMBY Democrats of San Diego, they believe, and they're providing evidence that actually more than 50 bus stops, transit stops qualify, and they're still kind of pushing for that. But in the meantime, housing advocates are saying this is definitely a good start to provide more housing throughout the city.
And we were just saying, we're seeing a lot of construction in the city. We're only going to see more with this.
Right.